So on official records, we're down to 4. So let's go to the channel. I don't know if we should rename the channel or not. Probably not. Alright, how much do you guys remember of what was happening last time?
I just finished talking to the captain of the Black Flight, I think it was.
Darkwing.
Darkwing, yeah.
Like, you need to pay attention. It's like, weren't you
Speaking
writing
of-
any of that down?
Nope.
Okay. That's bad.
No, Black
Oh.
Flight was the name of the captain.
Yeah, he's called the Black Wing. No, he's called the Black Flight.
I knew I heard Black Flight somewhere, so...
Yeah. So, let's see. Time pass. No. So it's still the same day. You guys haven't decided to sleep yet. You're still up and about. Well, there's only one way to decide who goes first, and that's turn order. Let's see who goes first.
I'll just roll D100.
Just do turn order. You're looking right. You're right there.
True.
Stop being. It's literally 2 button presses. You click your character and you click a button. So, okay, well, I guess we're going with Annabelle since you hogged all the time last time. No, it's Annabelle's turn. Okay, so what are you doing besides?
I'm off to find pay.
Say what?
I'm off to find pay.
Okay. You're just gonna walk out? Are they even gonna allow you to walk out? No. You guys are pretty much confined. Although they say you're free to see the city, you're actually confined to there for now. So...
Well, that's annoying. I'm going to go up to the closest reptilian and,
What?
ask how I can get into the, more public areas where I can find pay.
So... He's like, sorry lady, I'm under orders not to let you leave. At least not yet.
Why?
Did you ask why?
Yeah.
It's like, it's really for your own safety. It's not every day that people encounter outsiders, and we're trying to keep you somewhat protected, because if we just let you start strolling the streets, there's a good chance that somebody might take up arms. Until we give an official approval for you to wander the streets, and we let the people know that you're here, it's not safe out there.
That's a little bit xenophobic.
Say what? Well, let me check your
culture
audio. I have you cranked up and you're still super quiet.
Sorry. What I was saying is that, your culture seems a little xenophobic.
Okay. It's like we've been living in an isolated city for a long time, and we've prospered more than every other culture in this land. I think xenophobia has worked for us very well. And technically, it's not xenophobia. They do invite the people that prove their worth in. But there is a process, and you have to go through the process. You're not it's like, and he kind of shrugs, and it's like, did you really think you were that special? That we would just forego our process just for some random people?
Friends of royalty.
It's like, we haven't approved of him being a noble yet. So, until such a thing happens, they have to treat you like commoners. Of course, commoners that are... in general, you're still being treated like a commoner. The only difference is you're being given a fancy room. That's about it, but everything else is, you're pretty much a commoner.
Long, deep sigh.
Oh. It's like, look, I'm just an apprentice. I didn't make the rules. I just follow them.
Well, I don't know the language of the guy that does make the rules, and I sort of gesture towards the dragon.
It's like, even if he's not very much swayed by many, even his own advisors don't quite understand the great black dragon's mind.
Well, I guess it's hard to understand something that ancient.
And it's like, likely any scholar that's tried has either been driven mad or doesn't really care to do so. It's a language of one creature, and like singular languages, they become lost because no one practices them.
Yeah. A little sad, but necessary.
So are you guys like all sitting at the table? Because last time I checked, Oso's been sitting at the table. You are pretty sure she has not. Like, it's pretty much none of you have slept. Just, it's still the same day.
Am I tired?
Yep. No.
No.
Because you want to leave, but you can't yet. So it's like you're pretty much confined to this room. So think, what can you do?
I could murder my way out, which doesn't seem like a very good option.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, but alright.
I could try and find a way to speed up the process, I guess.
Okay, let's see. None that exist. There's a reason the process is so long, and that's because they have to prevent certain people from getting in, and that's anybody who would take their tech and leave, which they've had done, like espionage of their. That's pretty much kind of what we're doing, right? We just want to take the technology and maybe cut and run.
Not really.
You don't know?
At least not for Annabelle.
Okay. I don't know about Sains.
Not something he would do.
Okay.
At least not at the first moment.
And with those words, it's like, yeah, that's exactly the point, is even if there's a little bit of doubt in there that you might do it, they wouldn't allow you in. You got lucky that you just knew the captain, because otherwise they would have just barred your way, and likely they would have just shot you on sight. Even though you surrendered, they might have, like, Annabelle, you took a great risk jumping out into the line of fire, because what if they had open fired?
I would have dodged back into cover.
Yeah.
I knew the risks.
Alright. Still, you're starting to display more reckless habits like Sains who dove into... Sains did the most reckless thing you can do, which is diving into heavy gunfire.
Well, I did something that worked without us having to kill them all.
Yeah.
Am I able to sneak out?
Do 100. Can you sneak out? You can try, but think of what might happen. Because you have things like the Darkwing you got to deal with, which are they are experts in assassination and reconnaissance, and they live within the city. So sneaking might not work so well.
Wait, I think a while back, one of the people asked me if they wanted, like, if I wanted them to find pay. But I think I said no.
Oh, that was the council, or that was the three you were talking to. It's pretty much. Did they give you a name? No, they haven't. Musra has. You haven't asked really. It's like. Because it came from the three dragons, the three council dragons, but you don't actually know what that is called, because you didn't ask.
Mm.
So yes, that one of them, that was Captain Shun, had said he would go put out an order to find Pei and have her brought forward. See, did they succeed? No. So you guys are still awake, right?
Yes.
Okay, so roll for your awareness. Like, you guys are you jumpy at all, or are you just like calm and still collected and still focusing? So Sains is always aware of his surroundings. So is Oso. Because you guys have done solo missions before, and part of you says, this is still a hostile environment. Although it seems like a civil place, it's a hostile environment, and you don't know if there's going to be an attack on you anytime today, tomorrow, or whatever while you're here. What about Annabelle? What is your awareness looking like? So you guys are you guys thinking the same thing?
No, I'm just generally aware.
Okay, so pretty much the door gets shoved open because he's not subtle. Captain Shun's not subtle in any sort of way. So the door gets shoved open, and he just beelines straight for the table. And then he's standing right behind Shi. And he's just, I guess he's at attention because he's waiting for everyone to focus on him.
I like peek out from behind She and wave.
So, and he makes a lot of noise when he moves. I mean, he's, like I said, he's meant to project power. He's not meant to be subtle in any sort of way. And it's like, we searched the city for this Pei you were talking about, and nothing came up. We haven't been able to locate her within the city, which means either she left or she's hiding from us. We've had to dispatch members of the Darkwing to go look for her, but the investigation is ongoing.
I thought they were meant to be elite.
Okay. It's like, well, even the elite has their day.
So what you're saying is you can't find Pei, and I can't get out of this room to find Pei.
It's like, yes. It's like, but I can't issue. It's like, but do you really think you could find? So he's asking like a professional question, which is, do you really think you could find her?
Well, I have a little bit of magic. She has a little bit of magic.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to find someone when you're using magic.
And it's like, well, we are also using magic to find her. But I guess, what is his opinion? So he pretty much shrugs, and it's like, well, I guess we'll give it a shot and see what happens.
Excellent.
So it's like, so he's going to follow you, like he's going to escort you himself, just for this investigation. It's like, so long as you're wandering the city without official approval, I'm going to be with you.
Fancy.
Because it's like, well, it's like, I would rather be doing other things, but since I know your type of people insist on these things, I know I have to follow you anyway. If not me, then a squad of 4, but he'd rather just do it himself, because he is curious also as to where this is going to lead.
Okay. I just start walking out the door then.
Okay. You don't even stop to think. Can you move Chi at all, or is she unmovable? Okay, so... Man, he's following you. So, are you paying attention to anything? Like, around you? Or are you just beelining? No, so you don't notice the giant black dragon, you don't notice the... You're going straight for the exit, which is... You have 4 ways out of here. You can choose one. Or you can roll a dice. Because you came in through the south way. You can choose another way to go out. There's 4 great doors in this chamber. 1 at each cardinal direction.
Onward, to the right.
Okay, so... So you're thinking, don't go out the same door you came in, because you didn't see her on the way in, so maybe she's out the other way. Oops, that's the wrong one. That is hide, that's not reveal.
I was born in the darkness.
Well, roll and counter. Nope, nothing. So, You're starting to wander the city. Are you aware of anything around you, or are you just wandering straight to where you are? Like, are you looking around? Okay, so you are looking around. Are you just admiring? Are you admiring the scenery, or are you thinking tactically? Or are you doing both?
I'm thinking, where on earth would pay go?
Okay, so you're more thinking of where would pay be. You doesn't care about any of the architecture or any of the people walking by. It's more of just you have a singular task and you're thinking, where's pay? And where might she have run to?
I've seen giant fancy cities before.
Okay, so it's like we've searched all the general areas where someone like her would be, from the taverns to the slums, everywhere. It's just we haven't been able to find her. Let's see. What about the? Oh man. Okay. That's like, nor have we had any sort of reports of anyone leaving the city. All the tunnels are guarded, so we haven't had any reports that anyone has left or entered the city. That is out of the ordinary. No one has. We've checked everyone that's gone through, and we've questioned anybody who has gone through, and nobody. She hasn't turned up. So, in his mind, there's a good chance she's still in the city. Just she's hiding from them. That's why that's why they dispatched the Darkwing, and see if they could pick something up.
Wait, this is out of character, but last week I did like a magical pulse or something.
Yeah, and you were able to pick up magic, but the whole area is radiating magic, so.
But it was water magic, so it was weird.
Oh, it's water magic? Yeah, you picked up something that's water magic in the area. So are you going to follow up that lead, or are you going to go continue on your mission?
Well, I don't believe in coincidences.
Okay, so you're thinking of linking the two together. So like, in terms of pay being found, they've dispatched a 4-man team of Darkwing, which is unheard of. Most of the time they establish 1 or 2. But I guess they see this as important that she be found, and you get the feeling that they want her found not because you want her found. They want her found for their own reasons.
Well, I've got to find her first then.
Alright, so what are you going to do? Are you going to just follow up that lead?
Pretty much.
Okay, well, do a D100. Can you still feel the pulse of that type of magic? Yes. So, do a D4. It's coming from the top, so you're kind of sure it's coming from the northwestern side of the city.
Northwest it is.
Okay. Roll encounter. So, is anyone going to bar your way? Or is this a relatively peaceful town and there's not going to be any sort of problems? Nope, nothing.
I think Captain Shun pretty much...
Yeah, I think Captain Shun being around kind of makes that almost impossible to be attacked. At least within your own city. Or at least within his own city, like, no one would really... Have you actually gotten... So... No, you have not gotten anyone that's actually, like, even looking like they're trying to do any harm to you. So, he's talking to you while you're walking. It's like, I think they respect your power. Just, because each of us has a minor sense of magical energy, and you're radiating magical energy. So I guess, in a way, they respect that of you. If they're not respect, then they fear it.
It's not deliberate. It's the only way I can track this bastard.
Okay. Well, it's not so much that you're using it to track, it's that it's just like he smells in, and it's like, anyone, even with a minor sense, and even an infant can tell that you're radiating magical energy. At least, it's like any shrugs, at least in terms of Black Dragon Kid. I don't know what other infants would be able to do.
Mostly cry.
It's like, yes, so do ours. At least that hasn't changed in the world.
Hope
So
it
you guys
won't.
have had, so... There's nothing, can you still sense where it's coming from? So, it's, do a D4. Is it... We're now just refining the search. Okay, so still, it's on the farthest edge of the city. Is there anything at the corner? No. So, do you guys see anything? No. So, you arrive at this just random corner in the... This is like near the end of the... This is like where you would be. So, you see that you really just... You end up at the wall. And there doesn't seem to be anything there. Okay, do a D2. Can you sense which where it is? Like, in terms of direction. So, you have a feeling it's coming from under the ground. Like, you're there... And you're looking around, but you feel it that it's now moving under you. It's not really on the same level. So I mean, what's D100? Do you see anything around you that looks like a way through? Okay, let's see. So you're looking around. You look and you see that. Do another D100. What do you see besides the? It's really more of a theory. The area is littered with what looks like rocks. So do you check one of the rocks and see if there's anything behind it, or do you what do you do?
So this is like a completely walled off place.
Yeah.
Rocks would be a little confusing.
It's not uncommon. I mean, in terms of this area, like rock formations are not uncommon here. They just kind of planted the wall, and then they just kind of left the rocks where they were. The rocks are not naturally there. It's just that, well, some of them are. Like, they didn't deign to move them because it would take too much effort.
I think I might kick one of the rocks because I'm a little frustrated.
So you're just kicking rocks? D100, does that actually work? Okay, so not really. You're kicking rocks, but it's not really doing. They're not really, like, the small ones move, but the larger ones, not so much.
Shun, can you move this big rock?
Okay, so you're just pointing at a random rock, and then he just puts one hand to it and it just kind of shoves it out of the way. Let's see, was that what you're looking for? So, and underneath it, you see that there's like a tunnel.
Ta-da!
Yeah. It's like, well, I'm gonna have to. So, like, he puts a hand to his ear, and then he literally just starts talking to himself. But you get a comment. Let's see. Do you understand his conversation? He's giving out a general order that, you know, be advised. Underneath some of the rock features are hidden tunnels. I need you to start searching underneath the rocks and make sure that it's not a security threat. So, and he's looking at you, and it's he's tapping the side of his ear, and it's like a magical earpiece. It's how we communicate between each other.
Huh, fancy.
It's like, yeah, nothing like it. It's like nothing like it in hospitality, and we hope to keep it that way.
No, I've had a magical crystal or two.
So he's looking at the tunnel, and he is way too large to fit in it. Like, he could not fit in that tunnel even if he wanted to. So he's looking at you. It's like, you know, so what's your plan? Are you really going to go down there?
I just fall in the hole.
Okay. It's like, all right. It's like, and he pretty much stands guard. It's like, all right, your funeral. All right, so before we move on, we're gonna go back to Sains. I'm just updating the new tunnel map. Okay, so Sains, besides, everybody just left, and it's really just you, Oso, and a random dragon down there.
Wasn't he going to be my guide around the city?
Yeah, but you can't
Or
leave. 'Cause
Yeah, I know that.
she just took the captain. And, like, they're not just gonna... one stranger was enough of a stretch. They're not just gonna let two do that. But she was deployed because, well, Annabelle got out because she grabbed the captain, and the captain was able to be her guard and guide through the city. Your guy that you were assigned is not he's not as influential.
Oh well. I'm just gonna learn more stuff about this city. As much as I can.
So, you're gonna learn a bunch of... Hold on, I gotta realign myself, because you guys probably realigned to the map still. Come on. There we go. You guys are aligned to the map still. So, what are you learning about the city?
Not especially the city, more of the culture that's here.
Okay, what about the culture?
As much as I can.
Yeah, that's a lot of things, but you gotta be specific, because...
Everything.
Yeah, but still, there's a lot to learn, and it's really... Musra is striking at a chord, and it's, you probably won't remember half of what I'm gonna tell you, anyway. You probably don't remember half of what I've already told you.
Well, I still got asked
So,
very rather difficult
he's just
questions,
he's pretty
so-
much, he's young, and he's being a smartass. It's like, why should I bother telling you anything?
Because the 3 big dragons outside of this room told me I was a noble and I had to choose if I want to be a noble or not. Right?
It's like, what does that
know-
have to do with the history of the city, though? So, like
Yes.
I told you, he's a smartass. Like, he's gonna ask you the hard questions.
I want to know it so I can make my decision better.
So it's like, how will that make you make a better decision?
Because right now I could just say I don't know a lot about the city, so I'm gonna be a noble, and then I still don't know a lot about the city.
It's like, me personally, I think it's a mistake. And I'm gonna tell you why. Is he gonna tell you why? He's gonna tell you why. It's like, I'm gonna tell you why. The nobles weren't exactly the best of people. They became noble for a reason, and that's because they took the wealth of the people and used it for themselves. You can't have nobles without exploiting the people. At least in terms of their society. So, in the end, that's why the nobles are no longer around. And then here you are, one of the few nobles that are left, coming in to try and... So, and it's like, what are you trying to do?
Well, since you won't tell me anything, I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay. And that's like, that's not a very good policy to keep. Because
Even then,
so what
you
is
are
he?
not one to
He's got a smug
make the
smirk
big
on his face.
decisions.
And it's like, you said tell you everything. Well, I've told you things. Is that not everything?
I'm not gonna tell you because you don't have anything to do with it.
And so, like, he gets angry. And it's like, of course they have something to do with it. This is my city. These are my people too. You're some outsider thinking you have nobility.
I don't think anything.
Okay.
The 3 big
And
dragons
it's like, then why?
outside told
And he
me.
pretty much he turns around and leaves the table. And it's like, then why should I tell you anything if you don't know anything?
I didn't say I don't know anything.
You did
I
just say
said-
that. He misconstrued it though, because that you said it out loud. I don't know anything, and so that's what he's saying.
That's what I wanted to say indeed.
Okay.
I don't think anything.
Still,
Three
it's like, you
dragons
don't think
outside
anything, you
told
don't know
me.
anything. Why should he tell you anything if you don't have either of those? That would just be, for him, it would just be wasting his time.
Hmm. I'm just gonna eat something that's on the table.
Okay?
Or at least
So, like,
start
it's like, exactly, silence. So, and like, he's, in terms of Dragon Age, like, he's a much younger dragon than you are. So like, he sits down at the table. It's like, look, I'm sorry. It's just, you know, this is a lot to take in. Plus, I don't even know if you're even capable of what you say is gonna happen. I'm not even sure bringing back the nobles is gonna be a good idea.
That's the reason why I want to know about the culture.
It's like, knowing about the culture will not help you understand what it means to be a noble. At least not our culture. That'll help you understand what it means to be a black drake. But you're not a black drake, so it doesn't seem useful to you.
I have been one.
So,
At least part of me has been one.
and he's finding that hard to believe. It's like, you know, that isn't just something you get rid of.
Well, I had the choice. Either die or get rid of that part.
So, and he has no idea what you're talking about, because you're talking gibberish to him.
Well, I don't suppose you do.
Okay, so it's like, and then he kind of smirks. It's like, and I get the feeling you're not even going to try to explain it.
No, because I don't fully understand it myself.
Okay, so like, well, at least you're honest about it.
It happened all sudden, so...
So, and he's going out on a limb. It's like, did it have anything to do with, you know, did it have anything to do with crew or pay or
Yes.
any of them?
Both of them, for that
Both
matter.
of them. So it's like,
The ice
and
rakes
so like
were
he's
involved too.
pondering on the table. It's like, you know, this may not be coincidence. It's, you know, you came here looking for one of them. I guess you talked. If you had to guess, you talked to crew before you left, and he didn't really say anything. So
Well,
like, he's
I
thought
didn't
it's
really
like, you know, this
come
can't
to
be
look
coincidence.
for- Well, I don't know if it is or not, but I
And so like, so
definitely...
he's saying out loud, it's like, but who else? Who else have you had contact? But you know, when this was happening, so it's like he's humoring you. It's like, say this did happen, and you talked with Kruv, you talked with Pei, but was there anyone else who had contact with you during that time? Was there anyone else who influenced whatever was happening?
Ice rakes.
Okay, so and it's like, well, I've been listening. So is you know, it's pretty much illegal to listen in on military channels, but he's been listening on military channels. Just don't tell anyone. So he's pretty crafty, Musra. Like I said, he could have been one of the Darkwing. Yeah, 7 was going to come in later. So Musra could have been one of the Darkwing, but he chose to be a magician. That doesn't mean he doesn't have Darkwing habits. So tapping into communication lines, that's a Darkwing habit, but he's a magician. He shouldn't be doing that, but he is. So he's been listening to military comms. It says, so it's like, from the scuttlebutt, I hear that there's a tunnel to the northwest, and apparently they suspect something relating to water magic. Does that sound a little bit like the people you're looking for?
Northwest? No, southwest.
It's like, and he smiles at you. It's like, I meant inside the city.
Oh. Probably not, because I'm not looking for the ice rakes.
Why are you me? How are you me? Okay, never mind. That's just my GM stats. Never mind. I freaked out there for a little bit. Okay, so it's like within the city. It's like underneath the rocks. They found some. Looks like a tunnel. Has there been any? So there hasn't been any other tunnels but the one. So all the guards. Some of the guards are going to keep a hold on the outside. They're not going to send anyone in because somebody's already in there. They're just going to assume Annabelle will either come out alive or not come out at all, and then they'll send a team in. So,
Well,
User
It's like-
joined your channel.
zero. It's like a standard procedure. Don't send in your soldiers unless you actually have to. If somebody else is going to volunteer to do it, why not just let them die? That's their prerogative.
Woo! Dying.
So it's like, well, this doesn't do you much good because you're stuck in this city anyway. Or you're stuck in this room anyway. They're willing to let Annabelle leave, but not so much you. You need to stay. You're apparently... So is he going to be honest with you? So he's not going to be honest with you. It's like, people have been tasked to keep you in here. So... And that's just it. It's like, it's just, you can't leave. You can't leave this room. And I wouldn't allow, like, he personally would not allow you to leave the room either. At least until the business is sorted out. I don't know about the kidnap. Well, you could kind of say that. You can think, well, if you didn't do quick thinking, you would have died right there. But yeah, so relatively, he's been. Why is it? Let me guess. Is it that in the background there's power tools and stuff going off because your thing is getting built again?
No, today
No?
it should be fine, I hope.
Okay, it's an old habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
Yeah, talking to people, that's a nice thing.
It's a trap.
Okay, so...
what are the names of the two other guys that were in the other room when I first arrived?
What two water guys?
The big dragon and the magician.
So it's like, well, you didn't catch on to any of that?
The big one is... Dang it.
Yep.
I forgot it.
Annabelle, that's
Never
your
mind.
department. You know who he is.
The great black dress.
So it's like, hey, if you don't remember the names, that's alright. Because half the time they don't care to use the names anyway. That's really just for outsiders. It's like, So, it's, he's teaching you a little bit of history. It's like, true black dragons identify each other by scent, not by vocal communication.
Boy, smelly.
So,
Well,
because
I didn't know
each
that.
black drake is born with an independent scent. It's got subtle variations that normal creatures can't detect. Some of them do smell the same, but you can tell some of them apart by the way they smell.
Hmm.
Each one has
Interesting.
so that's just how they operate.
Can I at least talk to the magician that was next to the...
So he's gonna be honest. It's like,
Dragon?
no one talks to. They talk to you. You don't talk to them. That's not how the council operates.
Oh, I can't leave this room, so...
Yeah. So why are you asking to talk to them? Because you can't leave the room. So, and they will ask for your presence when it's time. It's not time yet. So, like, he's walking to the door. It's like, why don't you try sleeping on it and then coming back, and then maybe they will be ready by then. So, and also, like, she cocks her head back to see if he's gone, and then she just leaps the table and goes to the nearest wall. And then she's looking
What
up,
are
and you
you
see that
doing?
she's reaching her hands up, and she's she's searching around the top rooms of the. She's searching around like the top of the roof areas. Then you hear a loud clang, and you see that she's got a piece of metal in her hand, and she's jumping into what looks like a vent. And she goes in back first, and it's like, "Are you coming?" And she's reaching her hand out.
I don't know if that's a wise decision.
It's like, do you want to just be stuck here all day then?
No, not really.
And it's like, well, it's not like, and it's like she's pulling you up, and she's going backwards through the vent. And she's weird because she turns. The vent is wide enough for her to turn around. And so like she's moving forward, and it's like it's not like they don't know that we're gonna try to get out. So and she's pushing you first, and then she's got the vent in her. Like she pulled the metal out. And she picked it up off the ground. Like, she leapt down, or rather, she reached down, because she's tall enough to reach the floor. So she reaches down, picks up the metal, and just puts it back where the vent was.
So, now where do we head?
It's like, I don't know. Just the vent just seemed like a good idea. That's really up to you. I just thought you wanted a way out. She didn't really think that far ahead.
Let's see. So where can I see the fence?
Okay, so that's
Not far,
100.
right?
You can't really see where it goes. The only thing you can do is follow it. Or you could not. I mean, you could just get back out of the vent and say, this is a stupid idea.
I know I'd rather not be stuck all day, but this might be stupid.
Okay.
That's just what I thought it was. What I said it
Alright,
was.
and then she just opens the vent and just jumps out again. Goes back to the table.
I follow.
Okay. That's how, like, she put everything back the way it was. And it's like, well, I guess we're not, it's like, I wouldn't trust that vent either. It was kind of too easy.
I don't trust anything right now.
Yeah.
Not even you.
Alright, so
Wow.
now we're going to move on to Zero, who is on... Did you move back to town?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so you're back at the village. So... The good doctor has been tasked with... I don't even know anymore. Just retrieving Estrio, I guess. Okay, so you still have the bodies of the blue water drakes, still. They are not you actually have them in preservation. You're not having them decomposed. It's all you're doing is you're just putting them in ice water. That's your preservation method. It's like a
Crafty.
refrigerator, but you're keeping it like sub-zero ice water, so it's a frozen tube that they're stuck in.
The first man to invent a refrigerator. Hell yes.
Well, you haven't invented refrigeration. You just know. All right, if you keep something cold enough, it'll prevent it from decomposing.
You're pulling ice all the way from the spires.
He's relying on his allies to do so. He's already got a small militia, and the small militia, they are pretty immune to most environmental hazards.
Hey, hey.
So
Hell yeah.
it's like getting ice from a place that's covered in ice. That's easy. It's cakewalk.
So there's just a constant flow of people going back and forth from the hut. And there's water dripping out because the ice is melting.
No, they go on a big trip. They send an expedition to bring back a bunch of ice, not just a bit, and then they store it somewhere. But again, Zero, you don't really contend yourself with all these little nuances. You don't really care. It's just so long as it gets done, that's what you care about. The end result, the means you don't care about. The end result is what you care about.
Which seems to be going well.
Yeah. So
Shit.
it's you gave them. It's pretty much you synapsed them and said, here's my task, make it happen, and they're smart enough to get it done. You gave them a
like a
little
bloody
bit of.
colony.
You gave them. They still have their cognitive processes. They're not stupid. And in fact, you enhance their cognitive because it's your mind and their mind together. So they can use your intelligence to do the task as well.
To pick some ice. Shit.
Because in a way, because they are, in simple words, they are an extension of yourself. They're not really, like, they're themselves, but they're also you. It's kind of hard to understand, and it's kind of hard to explain.
I mean, it's simple like an ant colony. I mean, damn.
It's like they have
Queen
a
and
personality, but then they have what you gave them, which is your intelligence.
Well, at least they're smart enough, I suppose.
So anyway, have you just been idling when you got home, or?
Research time. Fuck
Okay,
yeah.
so you're gonna research water. I don't know what you're gonna get from that. It's not a Zippo. That's what you. Nothing
Nothing
you haven't
from that
noticed. See, the bodies will remain there until you decide to discard them.
Well, I gotta keep researching that shit. Damn.
Okay, so
Oh, nice
Finally,
box.
finally.
I don't even think those entities even exist anymore. Let's find out. Okay, so that would be. I don't even remember. Is that Blue Drakes? That was Ruins. I think Aquatic? No. I don't think it's in here anymore.
Uh-oh. They got annihilated everywhere.
Yep. So that's like you can't really ascertain any more information about them because with them being relatively extinct, you pretty much are writing the history book on what they're about.
Well, can I incorporate the water immunity? I mean, shit. That'd be useful.
You could. Well, that's what you'd. Can you use that roll for that? Of course you can. Okay,
Fuck yeah.
so and this accounts for 2 because you got a crit 100. So that's you learned. Well, the one thing you learned is that they're amphibious, meaning they can breathe underwater. So you can now go explore water environments without having to worry about the whole dying from not having oxygen. So when it comes to ship combat, I would say you're useful because you can't drown, and this extends to all your allies as well.
Fuck yeah.
Let's see. Secondary thing? The secondary thing is you've learned about their enhanced swimming, which means you can transform your hands into flippers. So you can actually, in water, you move twice as fast.
Oh, thank God for
Dolphins
crit 100.
for hands.
Crit 100.
That's because you got a crit. That's why you get 2.
These things never happen. It's weird.
Yeah, it's because you've been gone for a while. The luck usually builds up until one a critical mass, and then it deploys in a massive luck burst.
Seem to have happened now.
Okay, so you now have you actually have to undertake still your your master shapeshifting lore, and you also have to go on your quest to master plague knowledge. It's like but you still have to. You have to first decide to go on those, and then you can do the rest.
Huh. Well, I need money first, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
have
those
what's
things
called
can wait.
aqua knowledge, which means you can breathe underwater and swim 2 times and swim faster. So this is considered standard knowledge. This is not advanced knowledge.
Yeah, good enough for
So
me.
you're able to get up to standard knowledge, and you can advance that later. So that's what you've learned from the Blue Drakes.
Yeah, convenient things.
Okay. It's not convenient. It's just you built it up. You killed them, so you just might as well make them useful. Is your mentality?
What else could they be used for? Damn.
Well, I mean, you could reanimate them, but I don't know if your virus works that way. It's worth a
They
try.
try to kill my ass.
Huh? Yeah, that doesn't mean you can't reanimate them and brainwash them.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
So, and Opri's like behind, like as you're doing that and you're pondering all the wondrous things I can do, Opri's behind you, and it's like, did you forget about the mission?
Well, we have time. Plenty of time.
It's like, are you sure your daughter is someone that likes to wait?
I don't give a shit.
It's like, true, very
She'll
true.
wait. She will
Okay,
wait,
so
damn it.
besides that, so what else are you going to do with them?
Suppose I could get more things off him.
Can you? You can. I don't know what you'd learn, though. That's the difficulty. I guess you can you just keep researching, see if you get anything else. Well, obviously you are going to, but then it comes down to what are you going to get. I don't know, roll research again. So, like, you're pretty much taking your time with this, because they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Anything... So, nothing that enhances your current knowledge pool. So, you're just learning the basics, like, does this enhance dragon anatomy? No. Because you know most of what their anatomy is about. So, currently you're researching, but you've already gotten as much as you can out of what they are. I mean, you've dissected some and then you put some back together. You have done all these things already, and it's just you can't seem to get any more knowledge out of it. You're trying, but there's no more knowledge to be had.
Okay.
I mean, in terms of dragon anatomy, this is not the most advanced thing you've seen. You'll have to dissect something a little larger and a little tougher in order for you to get more advanced dragon anatomy.
Shit.
So, like, you've learned everything about them. Like, you know that they could breathe underwater and they could swim faster. So, you've already taken that from them. Everything else is standard, like, you already have it. You already know about their hardened skills, you already know about their organs. So, I don't think there's so there's nothing else to gain from them.
Okay.
You've taken everything you can, and did this did not take that much time, because you're getting better at it. Just you've dissected enough people to know there's a procedure to this, and all I got to do is just follow the procedure.
Write those down in a notebook.
Yep.
Keep it forever.
Pretty much. Actually, you keep it forever in your mind. I mean, and then by extension, your synapse network. Now the problem is you can't store it on another body. It has to be on you. Meaning, if you forget something, then likely your people will too.
Shit.
That's the cause. That's the problem. So try not to forget anything, because whatever abilities you have extends to your army.
Damn. Makes things a little more complicated if I die.
So I don't know. Is he? Maybe.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay, so Opri's like, you're not the type of person that likes to be touched, right?
No.
Okay. So she's behind you and she's wrapping her arms around your neck. And what do you do when she does that? You try to like stab her?
Flip her over into a wall.
Okay, so she lands pretty hard on that side of the room. She kind of just dusts herself off. It's like, she saw that coming.
Oh, convenient.
Okay.
Break a fucking wall for that.
Okay. You didn't break a wall. I mean, she's got enough toughness in her to not break anything.
Oh, good. I need that wall.
Okay, so and pretty much like she's hearing all of this, and she's she's thinking. She looks a little bit disheartened, but at the same time, she understands.
Huh. Well, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
That's not cool. Especially sneaking up behind somebody.
Okay. So, and like she pretty much just starts walking out of the room. She's just not even paying attention to you anymore.
What the fuck? Okay then. That's... Huh.
She is going. So you're still enraptured by the bodies, or are you actually going to pursue your mission, or what are you doing? Because there's nothing else to be gained. Like you've pretty much taken them apart and put them back together multiple times by now. In the span of an hour, it's like you've done all that.
Well,
leg bone connects to the other leg bone. The other leg bone connects to the other leg bone.
I don't know if he knows anatomy that well. Are you that type of doctor? So it's you know anatomy fairly well. So you know what a femur is, and you know what a shin and a tibia and all those other bones are. Half of them you don't really know the names because it's like, are you sure you call this that? Are you sure you call this that in dragon anatomy? It's like whatever.
It's all the same shit.
Yeah, it's all just bones anyway. What does it matter? So that's like, it's really, you just don't care. Because I mean, if it's not helping you directly, if it's just extra knowledge in your brain, it doesn't really matter to you.
Yeah, discard all the bullshit. That's how it works.
You don't need it.
Who needs it?
Then that's the point:
right?
is you assess the want for the knowledge. It's like, all right, do I actually need this? No. Moving on.
Fuck yeah.
So, like, the door opens and you see Frifa walks in, and it's like, I think you upset her.
Right. Okay.
It's like she's just kind of moping in the firing chamber.
Well, go deal with it. And that's why she's second.
It's like it's not. I tried to deal with it. It's not something I can deal with.
Well, she's a grown woman. She can deal with it herself.
I'm just like, yeah. It's like, if I had to guess, I think you hurt her feelings.
Boo. Who?
Okay. It's like, yeah, typical answer I'd expect.
Fuck. What? Does she want some fucking flowers, for Christ's sake? These people, man.
It's like, it wouldn't hurt.
Fuck that shit.
It's like, exactly. It's like, you're not the type to do that.
Christ. These people. They're so touchy.
Okay, well, if the dice roll would go, that ain't good. There we go.
Oh.
It's like, well, if you haven't realized by now, you're not just in our heads, we're in your head, and we can get impressions of your thoughts. So,
Impressions.
and she's looking out at the tank, and it's like, she probably realizes that you're never going to care about her in any sort of way, shape, or form, but a part of her is rebelling against it. She'll get over it, maybe, or maybe not. And so Frifa's like, my question to you is, what are you going to do about that if it does go the wrong way? What are you going to do, kill her?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
Simple.
the dice rolls are acting up. I don't quite know why. Okay. Well, it's like, I wouldn't approve of that. She's a powerful asset. I don't think there's any more that could replace her, really.
There's always a replacement.
It's like, none that I've found. So that's her. It's like, none that I've found. All those I've tried have been devoured and killed. So there hasn't been any other survivor, or anyone who survived long enough.
Well, maybe we haven't met the right person then.
That's like,
It's all
yeah.
about
What if there
time.
is what if there is no right person? Would you
Well,
really?
shit happens,
Would you
life
really settle for inferior stock?
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll get to that road when we get there.
It's like, I'm not one. And she's like, I'm not one for poor reassurances.
And don't
So
worry
it's
about
like,
this.
if you're not
I
going to
can
deal with it,
handle it.
I'll deal with it.
She gonna go deal with it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's she's going to deal with it first, and if she can't deal with it, then it does come down to you.
Okay, I'll let her deal with it. Shit.
So
Less on my plate.
it's like her honest question is like, do you care about anything? Because although she's inside of your mind, I mean, she doesn't know all of your thoughts.
Perhaps, perhaps not. I don't know.
Okay.
Not really a good discussion.
Okay. It's like you're gonna have to. It's like you're gonna have to figure that out eventually.
Maybe, but not now.
Okay. So she moves on. It's like and then she asks the question, it's like, are you ever gonna do what your daughter asked you, or are you just gonna sit around here not do it just because you can choose not to do it?
I'm planning for things.
And
It'll
it's
work.
like, it's like, why do I get the feeling that you're making that up?
Because you have a feeling of a feeling. That's it.
It's like, it's because I'm inside your head also. You don't have a plan.
That's what you think.
That's like, true, very true.
Yeah. So she only knows so much.
So, and she pretty much realizes, at that point she realizes, this is going in circles and that You know, whatever you decide is what you decide.
Well, at least they're all gone. I need one of these people to shift into a freaking woman.
Okay.
A very hot-looking one.
It's kind of hard to disguise the like they can disguise themselves. It would be easier just to get someone who is a woman.
Don't we have one? I don't know if we do.
Yeah, some of the cultists are women.
Oh shit!
Men, women,
perfect.
and children. So
Hell, let's call one of those up.
okay.
The
so,
children, specifically.
So which, a man, a woman, or a child?
Which one's more interested in Estrio?
You don't know much about Estrio. That's your. Actually, let's see what under that. Yeah, you don't know much about Estrio. You don't spend time analyzing him.
Huh. I need the rats then.
Okay. So
The information rats.
you make sure that there's no animals within his tavern because that's unsanitary.
Shit.
And that includes everything from rats, birds, rodents, ants, you name it. He's trying to keep all that stuff out of his tavern.
God damn it.
You thought it'd be that easy, right? It's called sanitation. You don't want to have a business with animals and shit in there.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Bugs.
Well, ruin his business?
Oh, no, he has bugs, doesn't he? He can't
No,
really kill
he
every
doesn't.
spider you find.
Oh, he does. So there are some, but are any of them able to be controlled by you, though? So some of them.
Oh, hell yeah.
So out of all the things, so bugs and small insects, like extremely small. But you
Yeah.
have to send it in small trickles, and you have to keep them out of sight. Is that
Yep.
relatively easy? Yeah, that's relatively easy.
Alright.
But did you actually gain any intelligence? No.
Ah,
Nothing that is like he doesn't just flaunt how he does things on a daily basis.
fuck.
It's
Would've
just
made it
what
easier.
you see in the bar is what you see in the bar, and you also notice that he never leaves. Like he stays there. He sleeps in the spot, and now he's got people watching his back, which is Garmok doesn't leave. Neither does Matisse. They stay there. When one is asleep, the other one's awake.
They drink?
Do they drink? Yeah, they do. Like Batiste and Garmok, they drink,
Perfect.
but not a lot.
Oh, they just need to drink a bit.
Yeah.
That's all they need.
All right. So what are you gonna? What now?
Well, since I have my little pawn, hopefully, I'll make her have some good company.
Okay.
With
So,
them.
With who? With Garmok and them?
Yeah. You know, entertain them.
Okay, so Batiste, Garmok's probably the only one that would be distracted. Batiste, he's not that type of person. He's got the same level, like he was professional even back then, and he's changed from last time. Because remember, when you first saw him, he was happy-go-lucky and he was a pretty nice person. But now he's very grim and he's very dark. Probably because they lost their land and they've been forced to leave, and a lot of their people died. So that changed his disposition of life.
Well, they're nothing but bodyguards, right?
I'm
These
not
two.
even certain. Let's see, are they? You could say that, but I think they're more. I think they're like friends also.
Huh. Well,
Okay,
I can have a little pawn, get them a drink, poison them, and then there you go. Problem
Why are you
solved.
trying to kill them?
Well, just incapacitate them at most.
Okay, you have to be specific with what your poison does, because I automatically assume poison means kill. So
I could
just
be
say
more,
like
but-
crippling poison or something like along those lines.
Very crippling. Okay, crippling.
So
Extremely.
you're trying to cripple one. Just let's see. They're not the types to take a drink from strangers. Like even though they know who the person is, but it's like they don't take drinks from strangers.
Huh. I guess that person is going to have to stay there and be their friend.
Okay.
Or at least be
So the
acquainted.
person's
at
gonna
least.
stay there. Like I said, Garmok's the only one that's really gonna be distracted. But even he's got a cautious distraction. It's like, all right, I'm willing to be distracted, but it's really because it's I'm doing this in case you're trying to murder or something. Because this is breaking the norm. Normally, you don't get anybody coming around those parts. Is that? I mean, like they've met women, but you know they try to keep to themselves. I mean, it's really just like it's the buddies. They are like drinking buddies.
Well, we'll have that person challenge them to a drinking game. One of the easiest ways to get into the group.
Sure. Okay. Okay, so who's gonna participate? It's not gonna be Garmok. It's not gonna be. I guess you're gonna get Estrio to do a drinking contest. Out of that, you're playing on his weaknesses. He can't resist the challenge. Okay, so how's this gonna go? I mean, just.
Well, same thing as any other drinking game. You keep drinking one glass each until one of you falls.
Okay, so do D100. And we'll see who gets the higher roll.
Well, that was a terrible roll.
I didn't
Shit.
see the roll yet.
No?
No,
No. Crap.
it's still coming. There we go.
Oh,
Terrible,
shit.
you did better than I did. So, in the end, you won out, where, like, Estrio is getting pretty wasted, and that he just kind of conks out. So, the problem is, you know, you're doing it in front of the others. And Batista's like, well, lady, seem to be able to hold your liquor.
Oh, yeah, she confirms that she's had, like, I guess brothers. Yeah, in her household.
Did I
She was
roll
always
that, or
challenged
did
to
I
drinking
think
games.
that? Okay, yeah, it is rolling that. Okay, so Estrio, he's pretty much going to lie down Estrio behind the bar stand. Because he pretty much conked out on the table.
It seems like he can't hold his liquor.
Alright.